Liverpool is having an incredible season, confidently leading the Premier League and showcasing football that blends intensity, technique, and strategy. However, as dominant as Arne Slot's team has been, the manager made a surprising confession. There was a moment when the Reds were outplayed, and the team responsible for this feat was Chelsea, the only team, according to Slot, that was better than Liverpool in a direct encounter this season. This statement came to light during an interview where Slot reflected on the thrilling match against the Blues in October. It was a tight game, decided at Anfield with a 2-1 victory for Liverpool, but according to the coach, Chelsea's performance was something that shouldn't be overlooked. It was one of the games, maybe the only game, where I felt that the other team was better than us during that game, Slot admitted. Despite being at the top of the table with a 4-point lead over Chelsea and still having a game in hand, Slot didn't hide his respect for Enzo Maresca's team. The Dutch manager pointed out that during the October clash, the Blues had more possession and created more threats than any other opponent Liverpool had faced that season. This doesn't mean that in the long run they are better than us, but during the game they had more possession than we did and were threatening us more than any other team so far, Slot explained. And that's a significant statement considering the consistency Liverpool has shown. Even with key absences, Slot's team not only kept up the pace, but also demonstrated resilience that placed them firmly at the top of the Premier League. Meanwhile, Chelsea remains the closest contender to Liverpool in the table, but their manager, Enzo Maresca, insists his team is not yet ready to challenge for the title. With a young and talented squad, the Blues have shown flashes of great football, but Maresca believes they lack experience in decisive games. He even recalled a comparison made by Jose Mourinho in 2014, when the Portuguese described his own Chelsea as a little pony that needs milk and learn to jump before reaching championship level. Despite this public modesty, Chelsea's potential cannot be ignored. The Blues have already proven they can compete on equal terms with the league giants, as seen in their clash with Liverpool. For Slot, this is a reminder that Maresca's team can surprise. Chelsea has been impressive this season so far, that's for sure, said the Reds manager. This growing rivalry between Liverpool and Chelsea promises to be one of the season's highlights. The October clash was just the first chapter, but it made it clear that the Blues could be a real threat to the Premier League leaders, even if Maresca still prefers to adopt an underdog stance. While Liverpool remains firmly at the top, Slot knows the challenges are far from over. The admission that Chelsea was superior in one specific game shows that the manager is not complacent with the results and continues to look for ways to help the team grow even further. With the intense pace of matches and a season still full of surprises, Red supporters are eager to see how Liverpool will handle the upcoming battles. And the lingering question is Chelsea closer to challenging the giants than Maresca is willing to admit? Either way, one thing is certain. The football Chelsea displayed in October was a preview of a team that can change the course of the Premier League. And while Slot keeps his feet on the ground, he knows that every champion must be tested. And so far, no test has been harder than the clash against Chelsea. The 2024-25 season has been a true test of endurance for the Premier League giants. Strategic injuries have shaken teams like Manchester City and Arsenal, two of the top forces in English football. City, under Pep Guardiola, suffered a devastating blow with Rodri's serious ACL injury, which sidelined the midfield pillar for the rest of the season. Meanwhile, Arsenal saw their creativity compromised with the prolonged absence of Martin Ødegaard, one of the brains behind Mikel Arteta's team. But anyone who thinks Liverpool is immune to such setbacks is mistaken. Arne Slot's team has also had to cope with significant absences such as Diogo Jota, Ibrahima Konate and more recently Federico Chiesa. However, on Thursday, Reds fans had reason to smile with news that warmed hearts at Anfield. Federico Chiesa is back in training. During the latest edition of Inside Training, the documentary series that gives a behind-the-scenes look at Liverpool, the cameras captured a special moment. As Chiesa arrived at the AXA training centre, he was warmly welcomed by none other than Virgil van Dijk, the captain, and one of the most charismatic leaders of the team. With a beaming smile, Van Dijk exclaimed, "Fede, you're back. Upon hearing confirmation, the Dutchman couldn't contain his joy and made a fist pump, celebrating the return of his teammate. The reaction was a reflection of the relief and excitement that Chiesa's return brings to the squad, which remains firmly in the hunt for both the Premier League and the Champions League. The moment gained even more significance when Alisson Becker entered the building, symbolising the unity and strength of the group. For fans, it was a reminder that even amidst adversity, Liverpool maintains its unshakable spirit. Despite the excitement surrounding the return, Arne Slot was direct in his assessment of Chiesa's reintegration. The Dutch manager pointed out that after months away from the pitch, it's difficult to give the player the game time he needs to reach his best form. What he needs is minutes on the pitch, but when you've been out for 5 or 6 months, that complicates things for a manager, Slot explained. He also lamented the lack of opportunities for friendlies or less intense games that could help Chiesa regain his rhythm. The last time the 26-year-old Italian played was in September, when he was on the bench for the win against Wolves. Since then, he had a brief appearance for the U21 national team where he showed promising flashes. Unfortunately, illness sidelined him again before Liverpool's clash against Girona. Now, the expectation is that Chiesa will return to action next Wednesday in the Carabao Cup quarter-final against Southampton. It will be a crucial moment for the player to showcase his qualities and regain confidence on the pitch. Federico Chiesa's return is not only a relief for the squad, but also a tactical asset for Arne Slot. The manager highlighted that the Italian has unique attributes that could be decisive in the most important moments of the season. We know his qualities, but he needs to reach the ideal fitness level, Slot said, emphasizing that training alone isn't enough to bring a player back to their peak. He even joked that it would be easier to give Chiesa minutes if the team were winning 4 or 5-0, a reminder of just how intense the competition is in the Premier League. With Liverpool competing on multiple fronts, from the Premier League's top spot to the Champions League knockout stages, Chiesa's return is a sign that the Reds are gaining momentum at the right time, and for a squad that has already shown its resilience in past seasons, this addition could be the difference in their pursuit of Europe's most coveted trophies. The coming days will be crucial for Federico Chiesa. His performance against Southampton could mark the beginning of a new phase at Liverpool and help alleviate the pressure on a squad that has given everything on the field. For fans, the Italian's return is another reason to believe this season could be something special. And with leaders like Van Dijk showing support and enthusiasm, Liverpool continues to demonstrate that even in the face of adversity, unity is the team's greatest asset. What to expect from Chiesa? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain. The chapter of his return has already begun with plenty of emotion. Liked the video and want to receive the best news about the Reds? Then leave a like to stay up to date with everything happening at Liverpool every day. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next video.